So much Toastmaster of the Day and members of Emerging Leaders Toastmasters Club. So we'll take the next 20 to 25 minutes on this evaluation. So raise your hand if you have never done evaluation in your Toastmasters journey. Okay, very few. So most of you have experience of how to do an evaluation. So I'll spend little time on this club level evaluation. Also I will address my learning of I would say the last 14 to 16 times I have contested at a different levels, which took me twice to the district stage, including the last year. So I have captured few of my experiences also. So let's start with the first thing. Why do we do evaluation? You know, Toastmasters manual has VP says if there is a speaker, there has to be an evaluator. Other than that, why do you think we do evaluation?
To improve us.
To improve yourself. Okay. What else? Leave alone the contest.
To improve the speakers.
To improve the speakers, to improve yourself, to improve the speakers, what else?
To understand the different aspects of speech.
Different aspects of the speech, okay, what else? Okay, so to improve yourself, to improve the speaker, understanding the various aspects. For me, evaluation, I see this as more of a self-awareness. Leave alone the contest, leave alone the club speeches, what we evaluate. Evaluation is, that's why it is called as heart of Toastmasters meeting, which not only provides the self-awareness, it also provides an opportunity to retain members. You know, when I do the evaluation, when I give them some value, members are motivated and club will get to retain. Evaluation is the platform where it gives an opportunity for a new member to be a role player, to be an ex-com officer. You know, it is more of a leadership in pipeline also. So that's why I see evaluation to start with primarily of self-awareness. So let's look at what are all the different types, or I would say the advices versus feedback. We all see plenty of times, right? There are advices comes, there are feedback comes. Advices, you know, you can say, for example, if somebody is speaking and you're coming on saying, don't be scared, speaker. You know, it is more of an advice. When you look at the feedback, you know, you point out to the area where it can be impacted. You know, you can read here, it says, I noticed that you are shaking. Take another example. I saw that you are averting your eyes from the audience. It is not to say that, you know, you need to improve your eye contact. Somebody coming and delivering your first speech, second speech, even a, you know, advanced speaker. If you say you don't have an eye contact is like ocean. You know, you are pointing them that you are not pointing towards somebody, instead you are pointing down or pointing away from the audience. So this is what the difference between advice and feedback. There are multiple times we get advices, you know, when you share your story or when you deliver a speech after the meeting or during the chit chat, we get advices. There is a huge difference between advice and giving a feedback. So let's talk about what do we evaluate. You know, if you are evaluating a club speech, brilliant. Because today, if Ashok is an evaluator, already his evaluation is ready before the speaker comes on stage. You know, that's how evaluators groom themselves. You know, if it is a club level speech also, there is the essence of evaluation is ready, but the content is from the speaker. Maybe he may be ready with an opening, that can be conclusion, that can be the way how I want to deliver evaluation today, but the content comes from the speaker. So what you evaluate in club level evaluation is very easy because it has a speech objective. When you talk about a contest, you know, you may not know what exactly the speaker is going to deliver, whether it is a motivational speech, humorous speech, informative or persuasive, or just a conversation. There are times where I heard speeches which are totally copied from the internet and delivered as a speech. So you may not know what you get for it. So what can you prepare yourself to be an evaluator? Number one, you can talk about the physical environment. If it is an online meeting or an in-person meeting like this today, how we stand, how the ambience is there with any noises behind it, how the speaker has prepared himself to give a speech, physical appearances, visual aids, also the speaking area, how it is available, all those things we can talk, which is nothing but the physical environment. Number two is about the body language, how the body connect with the story. If anybody aware of this competent communicator, maybe Ashok knows about, there was the early program for us before 10 years. There was a traditional program. It is still available online free. I would urge you all to go and download that and read that. It has the umpteen lessons for anybody to be our speaker. It has 10 speeches. In one of them it says your body hand gestures are always away from your body, above your waist level. That's how you can connect with your voice. The actions and voice should match. The second one is the body language. Third one is the voice. The voice is more about the clarity, pitch. If the emotions are running, there can be a high pitch when you want to convey something in a stronger, can be a low when you want to make some message or communicate a sad message to that. So the voice is one thing where you can look for improvement. The last one is about the speed, content and structure. Content in the sense, in Toastmasters, we normally say you are not supposed to evaluate the content of a speech. Even somebody comes and delivers a speech which is absurd. You will only tell him how this absurd speech can be delivered much better. It is not about telling it's an absurd speech, because the content is so close to the speaker. They have the idea, they have their thought in it, and they come and deliver. As an evaluator, our responsibility is to talk about how this speech was started, how it flows through from the body and transition happened, and finally how it is concluded. It is not about the content. Rather, here we can talk about the structure, the logic and clarity, opening body and conclusion, the transition, everything is about it. So this is what about evaluating what. So evaluation structure, so far what we have seen so far, right? You have seen multiple evaluations. Somebody has done more than 10 evaluations. Okay, more than 5. Okay, great. So there is always a structured evaluation. What would be the structure of an evaluation? How the evaluation can be there on a primary level, like a key level. What can be there in evaluation?
Commendations, recommendations, summary.
Commendation, recommendation, summary. Brilliant. What else? Anything else? He misses. Commendation, recommendation, summary. Any speech. Thanks a lot, any speech which has objectives, the same way evaluations also has the 3 simple structure, which is very common right from the school. Wherever we go, we deliver a speech. There has to be an opening. What you said about commendation, recommendation will be the body of the speech. Summation is nothing but a closure. So simply the introduction or the opening. Tell the audience what you are going to evaluate. If it is a club level speech, you can even touch base on the couple of objectives in the speeches, so it can warm up the audience to prepare for what you are going to tell them. So if it is a contest level, you have a lot of options to open. You don't have the luxury of having the objective, but you can talk about any of the important thing happened on the speaker's speech itself. It is more about callback from the speaker. So keep in mind, if you are contesting for any of the evaluation contest, upcoming contest, be aware that callback from the other evaluators is not permitted. That's a clear rule. Callback from the test speaker is permitted, because test speaker is the speaker on whom you are evaluating. Number 1 is introduction. Then comes body. You can talk about 3 or 4 things which you love the most in the speech. 2 or 3 or 1 or 2 where you can think about the improvement. Also highlight if there is any one excellent point, which is nothing but the best of the speech. It can be the USP for the speech to be sold. You can mention that so that audience also will have a correlation that yes, I also echo the thought what we're talking about. Finally, talks about conclusion. So recap whole thing as a summary, and finally make sure that your summation must have some word of appreciation for the speaker to come back and deliver speech next time. It should not be like that the speaker will run out of the club after the evaluation. Our idea is to make him or her to come back next time. This is what we are very much easily say, right? So you have to tell them in such a way that they should get the intent what you are telling. Also, they should improve. At the same time, it should motivate them to come back. That is why this whole structure of evaluation is put in place. Okay, so simple tools and techniques, I would say the opening is easy way, very easily people use it as related with any of the questions, related with any of the quotations or phrases, or even take something, the best from the speaker, the test speaker, and open your evaluation, so that it is easily connect with the audience. Also the speaker feels, okay, somebody listened to my speech, even somebody quoting my speech, it's a kind of a motivation they get it. Second one is the heart of evaluation, which is nothing but the techniques, appropriate transition, also address the speaker and audience. So what we say normally in evaluation is the positive, what you're talking, commendations is for the speaker, whereas the recommendation for the audience, I see that way. Because don't evaluate only to the speaker, evaluate to the audience, because this is an opportunity where 20-30 people will not make this mistake again because they are learning from others' mistake. That's the beauty of Toastmasters, where you get to learn from every single meeting. So don't address only to the speaker, address the audience also. Then comes to the closure. Closing is more about close with the closing statement, also something positive, summarize the positives, what you said, room for improvement, also with a word of encouragement. There is a thin difference between the club and contest level evaluations. In club level, the objectives are known, right? Because it is not going to be unknown. But at contest, you may not know what they are going to speak. So that will make you more prepared for that. Also, the recommendation has a very highest, I would say, the mark, or the judges view the recommendation as the very key point of it, more than the positive, because positives are taken out from the speaker's speech. Openings are prepared, conclusions can be prepared, but a recommendation can only be taught, written and told within those 7 to 10 minutes of the entire timeline, like 5 to 7 minutes of speeches, 5 minutes of waiting time. So recommendation has a very high impact in the judges' ballot. Also, summation is very important. If you are having a club contest, when you are going to have a contest, or even in your regular club speeches, make sure that when we are coming for the summary, you say in summary. Summary is very important, so that you are going to reiterate what you are told for the past 120 seconds. So the summary is very important. Next is, these are all very commonly used techniques. We don't spend much time on this, which is nothing but commendation, recommendation, commendation. That's called CRC, or something called acronym. People are very happy to use acronyms. If somebody delivering a speech about the food, they can even pick up something from there. Somebody deliver a speech with the name of Renuka, they can pick up RENUKA. They can make up their own. But I'm not a big fan of this acronym, because acronyms are having both sides. It can be a flip or flop. So I always go by the analytical method and the techniques which is very close to me. So I'm easy to do. Some of them might be interested, some of them might be very master at it, so you can try that. Acronym is a double-edged sword, but if you used it wisely, it can even make you into a contest as well. Also, there is something called COD, which is content organization delivery. We can talk about what is the content of the speech, how the speech is organized, and finally how it is delivered. So this is about the basic techniques, I would say. People regularly use it at a club level, contest level. So I do this way of splitting the entire paper which is given to me as a evaluator for a contest into a positives and area for improvement. From there I pick up how to pick the good thing, how to pick the area for improvement. So you can feel as free to use that. So few things, these are all the basic techniques, Every time, like you can ask me, right, Sateesh, CRC is known to all, COD known to all. How come this every time there are different winners coming in, different people going different levels? So I would put it simply, the reading makes you the better evaluator for yourself. For me, it helped me a lot every year when I pass through. That's what I heard from this Dhananjaya Haithiraje. If you remember, he is one of our world champion from Sri Lanka. He gave one of his education session much before he became a world champion in 2013 in Bangalore. After the revelation, when somebody was asking, how do you, Dan, how are you writing speeches year after year? How are you winning, level after level? He says, I don't write some speeches. I evolve myself over a year, which comes me as a speech, end of the year for me to contest again. It is not about something I sit and write. I evolve myself. Some transformations what you go through. If you look at it that way, every year people come in a humorous or international or even evaluation or evolving themselves. They're upscaling themselves, learning themselves. This year I picked a few of my preparations, what I wanted to do, take it forward for the contest which is happening on 30th is our club level contest, and next week we have a evaluation workshop also at Milwaukee. I picked up a couple of thoughts from my thought process. One is more like a chef recipe. You can talk about what are all the ingredients you like most, and you can add some little cooking tip, and finally say the presentation, how you can present it better next time. It's a kind of one analytical study. The second one is music mixer. You can talk about the baseline, which means the core strength the speaker has emphasized from the speech. The second one is the melody, the memorable phrases or the moments. Finally, you can say how do you adjust the volume, which is more about which can be added more, which can be reduced. The third one could be glow and grow. Glow is nothing but the best moments of the speech. Grow is nothing but the places where the speaker can improve on. Think about yourself, relate it, relate with the speech objective, relate with the speaker, relate with the speech content. These things can be easy to look at it independently. When you gel them into the speech, that's where your ability comes. How the speech was delivered, how did you relate to your learning, put them into an evaluation, that's what your evaluation speech. So maybe the next 10 minutes timer, or how many more minutes? 5 minutes? How many minutes over now?
So 14 minutes.
14 minutes, so I'll take another 10 minutes max. Let's touch base on this evaluation speech contest ballot. So this the ballot you can see right here. So there are 4 major classifications are there. Number 1 has the score of 40, which is analytical. Analytical is nothing but the effectiveness of the evaluation. Every evaluation will be carefully analyze the strength and weakness. What is the right thing you felt? Whether it is the evaluator's comments are clear and logical. Again, did the evaluator identify the specific strength and area for improvement? That's why the analytical quality, which has 40 out of 100. The second one is about the recommendation, which is about 30. Recommendation has to be again very simple. Important part of evaluation. Also, in recommendation, many a times people say you could have done this better. Say for example, somebody was not using the stage. They will come and say, you are standstill on a question, Sateesh, you could have used the stage better. The part of what is known to the entire world. As an evaluator, you are expected to tell how. In one of the speech, 2 days back, I did one workshop for a corporate club for the evaluation. So one of the evaluator beautifully phrased it. When somebody was not using the sage, she mentioned it was a kind of a story of a different part of the life of the speaker. She told the speaker name was also Sateesh. Sateesh, you could have used the stage to move around your life journey. I could have traveled along with you on a different parts of your places. Rather than telling the stage was not used well, which is the part of what. As an evaluator, you are expected to say how. If there is something you pointed as an area for improvement, show them how to improve them. Need not to rewrite everything, just a glimpse of it. You have to only pick up those recommendations where you are able to give them the practical solutions so that the speaker can rework and improvise and come back and improve the speech. It is not only about the contest. So recommendation has a very, very crucial role. The third one is the techniques. So the techniques what we saw, plenty of techniques were there, the new technique or old technique, how you place them. Because technique is something known to everybody. Okay. The only point which you can differentiate yourself is the way how you put them into the speech. In line with the speaker's objectives and delivery, how you rephrase your evaluation. Because everything, it's more like CBSE's 2027. Somebody heard the news, right? So the 9th grade onwards, they are going to make an open book exam. So now they are thinking how the questions can be different. How to have a question which can allow them to research to that. So the thing is, it's an open book actually. It is about how you phrase it in line with the speaker, in line with the outcome of the speeches of the respective test speaker. And finally the summation. Summation holds a very, very important role, which says in summation, very simple, take 30 seconds easily for summation. You have to touch upon 1, 2, 3 the areas which they fared well, 1, 2, 3 where the area you ask them to improve them, and finally finish with the word of appreciation through a quotation or rephrase everything. So that's about the evaluation speech contest. There are few do's and don'ts. Maybe I will tell you a couple of things. Don't do the evaluation for the trophy or the best evaluator ribbon. That's why the evaluation topic itself, if you search in Toastmasters, the evaluation module itself called evaluate to motivate. It is not for evaluate to win the club contest or a club best evaluator ribbon. Also analyze with the help to intern the speaker, not to criticize the speaker. Third one is be sympathetic, encouraging and honest. You need not to exaggerate. Brilliant speech. Somebody would have given icebreaker with the kinds of bits and pieces. Don't exaggerate, because let's not give a wrong direction for the speaker. You need to be fair, at the same time you need to be encouraging. It's more like a parent job. You need to know where to control, at the same time you need to give a positive feedback as well. The fourth one is strong and useful recommendation. It is not about cliche recommendation like the stage you see, which are the voice one, or you could have raised the hand or lowered the hand. Don't be the cliche. Think about a little in detail The strong recommendation also, it has to be useful for the speakers to implement. Just because you found something, don't tell them this can be done this way. It should be useful to them also. Illustrate your recommendation using how to do that. That's what we mentioned it. Don't say what, concentrate more on how. How is the way it will help you to be away from the others. And focus is on the speaker. Focus is not on the evaluator. The moment you take that route, your 2-10 seconds of evaluation will be nothing. Because the moment you touch that, you will get into the different world, and it's very tough for you to come back to the evaluation. So that's about the do's and don'ts. And finally, these are all my few learnings which I had in my past many months of different contests. The first one is about the preparation habit. I always look at my own past recording, be it a speech or evaluation or any other role I played. I'll watch the past contest recordings, and I practice with my club members or mentors, or I will do online also. I'll time myself during evaluation. So I have a simple habit of hitting into the recommendations at least few seconds before green. And I would have started my summary before even the red comes. That's how I time myself. That's my mental clock. And study the judging criteria in detail. Take the judges manual, the handbook. Also study what is the judges criteria given for the evaluation speech contest. What is written as an explanation, not only the ballot. What is written as an explanation, how it is helping you. And note taking, I have the two ways of doing it. One is writing down when the speaker is speaking. The other one is after 5 minutes or 7 minutes of speech, and only scribble the notes. I'll normally do while they are speaking, I'll keep writing. That's how I found as a way for me to relate it. Note making technique, that's what I said, split the page into two. I do with the commendation and recommendation. I'll pick the 3 from here, I'll pick the 2 from here. I'll start with an opening, I'll go with an conclusion. So I'll make that's what the kind of note taking for me. Finally, on mental preparation, the deep breathing, that is a very, very crucial one. It's helped me in a way to realize in my last experience. Initial 30 seconds, I'm lack of breath on a district stage. It happens on many things. It's only make yourself calm and composed that helps you to be little relaxed and deliver. And positive self-talk and visualizing the delivery, how you are going to deliver. Also, the quick review of notes, because the final less than 10 seconds, I would say you will be given a chance to look at your own notes when you come on the stage. Make sure your notes are written such that you can able to easily relate it, rather than going and searching in the 10-15 seconds. It's about quick review of notes and speaking order. So prepare yourself for the first speaker, so that even if you are the last speaker, it is best for you. If you prepare for last and when you become first speaker, it will be very tough. First speaker is the biggest blessing, I would say. Sometimes it doesn't work for you also. I had a couple of times been a first speaker and it resulted in the first spot in the contest also. It again depends. So prepare for the worst, and if the best happens, it is good for you. And the experience versus native speakers. There are times I had a contest speeches even at a division level who had a copycat from an online story. Even at a club level, I had a distinguished Toastmasters. So, it's more like you can't decide the test speaker, right? You don't even know what they're going to speak. At the same time, you can't decide the test speaker. So be prepared for both ways. In any level, there can be experienced speaker. At any level, there can be a native speaker. You have to keep your evaluations prepared accordingly, so that it is easy for you to evaluate, rather than worry about, oh my God, how I'm going to do if somebody is coming like this person. Even I went and delivered as one of the test speaker during one of the division contests at February. So I was a test speaker a few years back. So people, crisscross on their roles during their Toastmaster journey. So that brings me to the end. I have whatever left of time. I can now, maybe some Q&A for you, if you want to ask any questions.
Sir, sometimes the speakers are too good. We don't know what to say, or whatever we have. Sometimes it looks silly, like to don't move around or move around, show your hand. Yeah. At that time, what is the right strategy we can use?
So that's why I said every year when you pass through the club contest, when you go again to the same cycle, you keep reading. Because every year you get a world champion, right, from the international speech in the last year. So try to look at those speeches and make your own evaluation. If you are prepared for evaluations of a world championship speeches, the rest of the things are easily a cakewalk. So the answer is always happens. It happens to me, everybody it happens. Only way is you have to keep yourself upscale every year. I always say it's a beautiful statement I use always. If you keep doing what you keep doing, you'll keep getting what you keep getting. There has to be time to change the gear at times.
Thank you.
Yeah, please.
Sometimes when I write some evaluation point during the speech, I get too engrossed in writing the point that I forget to take note during that point of the speech. So how do you deal with this?
Yeah. So it has in two ways. I started initially when I started my Toastmasters journey in 2011-12. My evaluation, the page A4, it will not be A4, it will be multiple A4. I'll keep writing even a single word. My intention is I should not miss out anything very important. So over a period of time when I matured, now I make only few keywords, because even though the speaker talks multiple, there will be always a sentence, right? There will be always a content in a sentence and a paragraph. So now I only related with where is this opening coming, what is the first story coming, second story coming, where he is transitioning, finally where he is moving. One of the important thing in the world of reels and videos, I read recently, it says that the reels are killing the intention for the kids to have a deep study. They say it's not about killing, it is making them hate the deep study. So what I would say is this 7 minutes of a speech is more like a gyan. So you have to be to the point, every second have to be attentive. It happens in the last contest season, one of the stage I somehow lost the one important point he is making for 30 seconds in the entire 8-minute speech. That is a make or break. I have to struggle a lot to find a story to come out of the breaks. So be very attentive towards the speaker. Even if you don't write it, just be attentive. That 5 minutes, easily things will fall in place. It happens by practice. So need not to worry about only your speech, your evaluation when somebody is giving. Every club meeting, every speech they are delivering, make your own evaluation. That's how we learned in Meraki. Everybody write it, round robin evaluation for everybody weekly if the time is left out. If not, breakfast table, we do the conversation. So you don't have the regret of I'm not being evaluated today. So that helps you to come out of that. Okay, maybe time is up. Any one last question or yeah, please.
So all the senior Toastmasters I talked to suggest the 3-2 rule, 3 commendations, 2 recommendations. Do you think that is the best strategy or is there any other way?
Okay, so 3 commendations is very important. There are few people in our club like Sudeep, you might be knowing. Sudeep is one of Toastmaster from Infosys, Mahindra City. He was a member of Meraki also. How many other times tell him, he will always talk about 12 to 15 commendations in a span of 40-50 seconds. So it is his style. It helped him. He crossed multiple stages. So commendations only goes by the duration, not by the numbers. Recommendation, 1 is too small. Nowadays, my mentors are saying you are taking too much stress by going 3. So I would see 2 is the best bet to go on. But you should tell them how to do that, not only what. That differentiate. Even 1 or 2 recommendation with how is equivalent for giving any number of recommendations. Thank you so much, the members of Emerging Leaders, for hosting me here for a session, and I hope it made some impact in your understanding about why I do evaluation over